Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside and take a look out our much cooler weather window today. Yesterday, our 8th straight day of 100 degrees plus in a row, and that's the second longest streak as long as we've been keeping weather records. 9 days is our previous record set back in 2014. We were about 10 degrees cooler than 100 today, and we're going to continue that tomorrow, even though we will probably still be in the 90s. Going to be windy tomorrow, a lot like today, and then cooler and much cooler and breezy for Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the 80s, and then we are gonna get hot again Saturday to Monday. We're talking temperatures 95 to 100 degrees, and we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The man charged with phoning in a bomb threat to the Chelan County courthouse in order to dodge a court date is now accused of making another such threat. 2 large dogs reportedly killed several rabbits on private property in Wenatchee early yesterday morning. And calls to Wenatchee police have been on the rise this year and especially this summer. But first, our top story tonight. The town of Vantage remained on level 2 evacuation notice today, and the Vantage Highway remains closed as firefighters battle a wildfire that had burned more than 8,000 acres by late this morning. The fire in grass and brush broke out along the highway just after noon yesterday. At 9 p.m., level 3 Get Out Now evacuation notices were issued for some residential areas in Vantage. Firefighting efforts were then focused in those areas, and the notices were lowered to level 2, meaning be prepared to leave. Fire crews worked through the night to flank that fire after the Southeast Washington Type 3 Incident Management Team took control of the firefighting effort at 11 p.m. after state mobilization was authorized. There are no known structures lost, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The man charged with phoning in a bomb threat to the Chelan County courthouse in order to dodge a court date is now accused of making another such threat, this time from inside the jail. 35-year-old Nicholas Henry Fulcher has been held in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center since June 15th, when he allegedly made that phone call that forced staff and bystanders to evacuate the Chelan County office complex. Jail administrators say since he was arrested, Fulcher has been a troublesome inmate. And on July 28th, he allegedly threatened again to bomb the facility with help from outside accomplices. Wenatchee police investigated and say there's no evidence Fulcher had the power to carry out that threat. However, they're now asking prosecutors to file a second charge of threatening to bomb or injure property. Fulcher remains held on a $250,000 bond. Well, 2 large dogs reportedly killed several rabbits on private property in Wenatchee early yesterday morning. Wenatchee Valley Animal Care and Control is asking the public for help identifying the dogs and their owner. The attack took place at about 5 a.m. on Wenatchee Heights off Jim Smith Road. The 2 large, dark-colored dogs reportedly came onto the property, attacked and killed the rabbits, and then when approached, charged the property owner. Anyone with information on the dogs or their owner is asked to contact Animal Control, and that phone number is 509-888-7283. Calls to Wenatchee police have been on the rise this year and especially this summer. Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld appeared on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz to talk about some of the reasons for that.
Our criminal activity is up. We have more crime right now for reasons that can be hard to define at times, except as we are rolling out of our COVID restriction world and we're coming forward, we're seeing more activity and again, more people talking to us. People will have spent the last 5 to 7 days at over 100 degrees. And they will be at their wits' end. And then as a bonus, the attempt to deal with the heat often involves consumption of alcohol or other substances, and then people's tempers and their fuses get even shorter, and then we have interactions that lead to contact and requests for services from us. The one thing we've noted, and we've been watching this over the course of the year, we can look at every year, we average somewhere between 20 and 21,000 calls for service most years. We're forecasting somewhere more like 24,000 calls for service this year. And the number of calls for service does not necessarily indicate a rise in crime. That's something we have to look at separately and look at the actual activity. But we can take into account, you noted parking complaints. Obviously, our issues with homeless people parking and having their vehicles and living out of their vehicles and the legal complexities that go with that and our limited ability to do anything with those vehicles for the most part can drive a lot of calls for service for a relatively concentrated spot. So we can easily say, well, we had 24,000 calls for service or 25 or whatever it sorts out to be this year, and that's a lot more last year, so crime must be worse. It's not necessarily the case. I do know, however, looking at statistics in the last month from CompStat is a system we pay for, we can see assaults are up, malicious mischief are up, thefts are up. But a lot of it, too, can come down to, are people reporting thefts they weren't reporting before? Are people reporting assaults they weren't reporting before? So there's these psychological factors, and it would be interesting to survey every caller for the last 10 years and find out what it is. But we need a doctoral candidate from a university who wants to do some work, because we certainly don't have the bandwidth to go and do that sort of thing.
When we come back, the special law enforcement team that investigates local police shootings and other internal matters will no longer include Okanogan County as a voting member. The boat launch at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery will remain open an extra week this year. Grant County's interim sheriff was sworn into office yesterday. And the Grant County Sheriff's Office took the time Monday to address what they said were some of the most popular rumors about the Watershed Music Festival that were spread on social media over the weekend. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back. In another news, the special law enforcement team that investigates local police shootings and other internal matters will no longer include Okanogan County as a voting member. The North Central Washington Special Investigations Unit includes police agencies from the Wenatchee Valley to the northern border with Canada. It's governed by an interlocal agreement among cities and counties, and on Tuesday, Chelan County commissioners agreed to remove Okanogan County from that contract. Chelan County Undersheriff Jason Matthews says the SIU will still provide investigative services to Okanogan County if needed.
So that the team now is just Chelan County, Wenatchee Police Department, East Wenatchee, Douglas County, and the State Patrol. That's the makeup of the voting group. Our team will service Central Washington all the way to the north border. Yeah, I talked to Sheriff Hawley about a month ago. He was okay with that. We'll still provide them the same services. They're just not a voting member of our NCWSIU team.
The boat launch at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery will remain open an extra week this year. Normally, the boat launch and put-in spot for floaters on Icicle Creek is closed for the season on July 31st. But the Forest Service said bridge construction on Icicle Road is creating congestion at other put-in areas for floaters, so they'll keep the fish hatchery launch open until this coming Sunday. The Leavenworth Outdoor Center provides free shuttle service from the East Leavenworth Road takeout back to the fish hatchery boat launch, and volunteers serve as river ambassadors at the site during busy summer weekends. Grant County's interim sheriff was sworn into office yesterday. Under Sheriff Ryan Rechtenwald has been acting as sheriff since July 1st with the retirement of Tom Jones. He now takes on the post officially until after a new sheriff is elected in November. Rechtenwald is not among the 3 candidates seeking the office in today's primary voting. Well, speaking of the Grant County Sheriff's Office, they took time out yesterday to address what they said were some of the most popular rumors about the Watershed Music Festival that were spread on social media over the weekend. Deputy Kyle Foreman said, contrary to rumors, nobody died. Second, nobody lost an ear. And finally, there wasn't anybody giving out antifreeze for others to drink. The 3-day festival in the scorching heat at the Gorge Amphitheater concluded on Sunday. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it if you only had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties. Mary Maids, let us help.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in North Central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the Wenatchee Public Pool won't undergo much-needed repairs this year. The city of Wenatchee expected to spend about $1.2 to $1.6 million for fixes and upgrades to its aging public pool. But the only bidder offering to do that work asked for almost $2.1 million. On Thursday, the Wenatchee City Council voted to reject that bid and start again in 2023. Parks and Recreation Director Dave Erickson outlined those reasons.
So since we received the bid, we talked to the one bidder, and they said that if we rebid the project, if we reject it and rebid the project, most likely it would be a higher bid coming in the next time if they choose to rebid it. We've also heard from 2 additional companies that are interested in the project. There's no guarantee that they would actually submit a bid or not. And they did say that their schedules are filling up for 2023 at this point. If we do rebid the project, of course, there's no guarantees that we'll get bids or we'll get more bids or we'll even get lower bids. But that's the risk we would take, if we rebid it. We're too late into the construction season this year now to be able to do it because it's about a 3-month-long process. By the time you pull all the plaster out, put it back in, get it to cure and everything, we run out of weather. So it would be a August through October construction next year if you accepted the bid this evening. Or if we rebid it, it'd still be next year.
Okay. So the staff recommendation is to decline the bid. Look to see if we got these other 2 grants, go to bid sometime later this fall. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the pool season next year, we try to open with what we have. And then when the pool closes in August, then hopefully get it fixed.
Correct. Yeah. Our biggest concern, only receiving 1 bid is troublesome. And especially when it's so high. If it was a nice super low bid, then okay, 1 might be okay. But it makes me very nervous just with the one bidder.
Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one, and boy, the cooler temperatures felt Really nice out there today, and it made for a beautiful day. A little breezy to even windy at times out there today, and those winds will kick up even a little bit more today. But a beautiful shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. 92 degrees unofficially our high temperature today, just slightly above 90 where we should be for this time of year. Our record high 103 degrees, and we have to go all the way back to 1961 for that one. 66 our morning low this morning, and that too closer to where we should be for normal at 64 degrees. Our record low 48 degrees, and that was in 1964. Sunrise 20 minutes to 6, and sunset now just after 8:30 at 8:33. Let's take a look at your Wednesday high temperatures. Yeah, it's still going to be a little bit on the warm side, especially over in the Columbia Basin. Mid-90s, 95 in Moses Lake, Ephrata, and also in Quincy. 93 for Wenatchee, 92 in Ellensburg, 91 for the high temperature in Leavenworth, and a pretty decent 92 degrees with some wind tomorrow up in Lake Chelan. Taking a look at what we can expect tonight, mostly clear skies. We are still seeing the outer edge of an area of high pressure that's over the Pacific Northwest. Breezy conditions tonight. Keep that in mind with low temperatures in the mid-60s. Those breezes will continue right here in north central Washington on Wednesday. Still going to be a little bit on the hot side with temperatures in the low to mid-90s for most of us. And that pretty much goes for all of the western United States tomorrow. By Thursday, this is where we're going to see some changes. A northwesterly flow begins to move into Washington. Much cooler temperatures and breezy conditions once again on Thursday. But how about that? Temperatures low to mid 80s for highs on Thursday. We're going to stay in the mid to upper 80s on Friday too, with all kinds of clear skies, mostly sunny conditions as we get you into the weekend. Yeah, high pressure intensifying once again out in the Pacific. We are going to see crystal clear skies all over the west and Intermountain West. Warmer too, with highs on Saturday right around the mid 90s. Even warmer to end our weekend on Sunday, as our flow picks up a lot of that subtropical air, moves it into our area, and we're talking mid to upper 90s on Sunday, upper 90s to 100 degrees as we kick off our next work week with sunny skies, and it looks like that will continue at least through the first part of next week. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast now. Much more comfortable. 63 degrees overnight tonight, 93 tomorrow for our high temperature. Once again, breezy. We're going to see some breezy conditions Thursday too, but look at that, much cooler. 83 degrees our high on Thursday. Won't that feel nice? Especially the 58 degrees overnight. 87 and mostly sunny Friday, and then we get hot once again. Sunshine for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 94 Saturday, 96 Sunday, and your high on Monday right around 98 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds, and more. That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. It's Apple Sox Baseball, live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday. New York fans have become accustomed to watching home runs this season. Such was the case Monday night in a 7-2 win over the Mariners. Yankees hit 4 bombs on the night, 3 of which off starter Marco Gonzalez. Anthony Rizzo started the hit parade in the bottom of the first.
High drive, right field. Frazier turning, looking, see ya! A long home run into the bleachers for Rizzo. 3-0 Yankees.
Again, Anthony Rizzo starting to go on one of those streaks also. Just looks locked in to hit anything. And Gonzalez has made some mistakes, and none of them have been missed. 3 on the board early. This is going to be an uphill battle.
There's a drive left field. Going back, gone. A home run, Kyle Lewis. Arizona board. Kalu's 3rd home run, his 5th RBI as he plays in his 14th game. Well done. Mom is here at Yankee Stadium. I know she is thrilled by that.
The pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to left center field. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Chase for 60. I'm telling you guys.
It's amazing. It's not that easy to hit home runs. That was a Judgian blast to left center. All rise. Here comes the judge.
They already got Trey Mancini from Baltimore. 2-1. Line drive, that will work. Toro will score easily. Frazier will shut it down with an RBI single, so the Mariners chipping away. It's 5-2 Yankees. Grounded to short in the second. Drilled deep to left field. There it goes! See ya! A long home run by Trevino. It's 6-2 Yanks.
And the 1-2 from Borucki. Swung on, hit in the air to center field and deep. Kelnick back, away back. That ball is gone into Monument Park. How do you like that? Ole Jose. He homers into Monument Park, his 2nd home run of the game. Amazing. And the Yankees take a 7-2 lead.
Right back to Peralta. He runs to first, he'll take it himself, and that will do it. As the Yankees win this one 7-2.
Highlights only Dan Coons could love. Jesse Winker had 2 of Seattle's 7 hits in the game. Game 2 underway right now. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Well, the rest of the American League West also losers on Monday. Baltimore beat Texas 7-2, and Houston fell to Boston 3-2. Angels and A's were idle. Houston's lead in the West remains 12 games over Seattle and 20 in front of Texas. Seattle's now tied with Tampa Bay for the 2nd and 3rd wildcard spots. Cleveland beat Arizona in 11 innings 6-5 to climb to within a game of the Mariners and Rays. Kansas City edged the White Sox 2-1, so Chicago remains 3 games back. Baltimore's win puts them 2.5 back, while Boston remains in the mix at 3 games out. Well, the Apple Sox finish up the non-league part of their schedule with a 6-1 win over the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars last night. Xander Orahudos was the hitting star for the night for Wenatchee. As we hear more of the game from Joel Norman.
The Apple Sox picked up a 6-1 victory in their final non-league game of the season on Monday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Apple Sox took on the Cascade Collegiate League Showcase team and defeated them despite giving up the game's first run in the top of the first. Wenatchee would score 2 runs in the bottom of the second before adding 3 on in the third. Xander Orahudos hit a solo home run with 2 outs in the 6th inning for his first home run, league or non-league, here this summer. The real story of the game, though, for the Apple Sox was Braden Weatherman, as he was brilliant in relief. 5 scoreless innings for the incoming sophomore at Big Bend Community College and the Kashmere High School graduate in 2021. Great work from him. The starter for the Apple Sox was Braden Boyd, who is still at Chelan High School heading into his senior year. He tossed the first 2 innings and struck out 3 in that time. The Apple Sox return to league action on Tuesday night as they will face the Yakima Valley Pippins, a red-hot team who sits at 13-5 in the second half. They have won 6 straight series and are trying to win the South Division's second-half title. Wenatchee is currently tied for the second-half title in the North Division and are looking to potentially clinch that later this week ahead of this crucial series beginning on Tuesday at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
As Wenatchee heads for Yakima, they're tied with Edmond atop the West Coast League's North second-half standings. Bellingham a game back, while Victoria is a game about half out. As Joel mentioned, Yakima Valley 2.5 games behind Corvallis for the second-half title in the South. Portland's 2 games back as we head into the final week of play. Taking a look at the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard from last night, Sean Hepner struck out 8 over 6 innings to lead Kamloops to a 4-1 win in Kelowna. Dominic Helman and Taylor Holder each hit home runs for Springfield to lead the Drifters over to Nanaimo 8-5. Luca DiPaolo's RBI single in the bottom of the ninth gave Corvallis a walk-off non-league 5-4 win over the Northwest Star Academy. Hudson Shoup had 4 hits to help Victoria win its non-league game over Redmond 10-2. Just a reminder, we have Apple Sox baseball live on the NCWLIFE channel coming up this Friday as they battle Walla Walla. I'll have your play-by-play beginning at 6:30. Well, Seahawks training camp continues in Renton as Seattle prepares for its mock game on Saturday. Things got a little testy yesterday between Darryl Taylor and DK Metcalf. The two had to be separated by teammates during a team drill when things got heated. A video emerged of the two yelling at each other and eventually grabbing at each other's face masks. Meanwhile, Geno Smith and Drew Lock continue to battle for the starting quarterback position. Smith has been gaining the reps with the number ones and says he's happy with what's happened so far.
Camp's been great. It's been a lot of back and forth, us in the defense. I feel like today was one of those days where I feel like they might have gotten the best of us a little bit, but, you expect that sometimes. And, it's been great, man. A lot of learning experiences, a lot of guys getting a bunch of reps. We've been, competing our butts off, and, I'm really happy with what we've seen so far.
Drew Lock has been leading the number 2s in practice and says he's enjoying the change of scenery from Denver.
One, it's been really fun. This is an awesome environment to come practicing every day. Didn't ever really get music in Denver when we were practicing except for warm-ups, so having it going all day, keeping the juices flowing for everybody out here, it's been an awesome experience so far. I've had a lot of fun, and I think we're playing really good football right now. It's nice to get back out here after OTAs, having some serious time under your belt with a lot of these guys, the offensive line, the wide receivers, running backs, and feeling like you can come out here and be comfortable behind center and play good football, and I feel like I've been doing that.
Seahawks prepare for their mock game on Saturday at Lumen Field. Then they'll be on the road the following Saturday at Pittsburgh for their first preseason game. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with our friend and voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Arch Ecker, who will be filling in for Dan Kuntz for the rest of the week. Arch has a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Arch.
Thank you, Grant. Tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, my guests will be Albert Ruckert and Mike Bills to my far left.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the music growth here in the Valley.
And we're going to talk about how important it is to expose young people to music early in their lives.
That's all happening tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Back to you, Grant.
Arch, thank you very much. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.
Be sure to tune in each weeknight for sports during the NCWLIFE Evening News. If it's the Mariners, the Seahawks, or any of our local teams, I'll be sure to cover the latest right here on the NCW Life channel.